warfare is taking place. The Owls need to establish the ground game behind tailback Paul Palmer. But Lavelle Edwards and his Cougars are ready. Palmer has little early room. So after an exchange of punts, the Owls take over with an alternative in mind. They turn to the up-back, Shelley Poole. On 2nd and 7 from the Temple 37, Poole takes the handoff and rumbles 25 yards up the middle. It is Temple's first down of the game, and it puts them at the Brigham Young 38-yard line. Now it is Poole again to grind for additional yardage. He carries right for a quick 6, but comes up just a yard short on 3rd and 4. With the ball at the BYU 29-yard line, kicker Jim Cooper checks in to attempt his first field goal of the night. But Cooper's 45-yard attempt is just wide to the right. The drive goes 37 yards, but nothing to show for it. Robbie Bosco takes over for the Cougars and puts together his trademark attack. 3rd and 19 at their own 31. Bosco gets the time he needs. He finds Glenn Kozlowski open at midfield for a first down, and the drive continues. The Owls seem unable to penetrate BYU's offensive line, giving Bosco the time to hit his targets. Bosco's protection begins to take a toll on Temple's defensive secondary, and frustration sets in. Once again, the protection is there, but the coverage is not. Bosco finds a wide-open Mark Bellini for 18 yards and a touchdown. The Cougars take the first lead of the game, 7-0. The Owls on offense are determined to keep close. First, they turn to Palmer, and the Lee Salt pitch turns into a quick 8-yard pickup. Then the quick strike. Salt hits Willie Marshall over the middle for 14 more yards, and the Owls have room to operate. With time running out of the first period, the Owls have 4th and 1 at Brigham Young's 39-yard line. They elect to go for it, but Paul Palmer's leap is met at the summit by a wall of Cougars. He is stopped short. The first quarter ends BYU 7, Temple nothing. As quarter number 2 opens, the Owls 83 yards from pay dirt, and Bruce Arians turns to the aerial attack. First, quarterback Lee Salt hits wide receiver Keith Gloucester for 16 yards and a first down. Next play, more aggressive play calling from Arians. Salt fades and fires complete to freshman walk-on Chris Chambers. It's good for 31 yards and a first down at the BYU 36-yard line. With Paul Palmer nursing a twisted ankle on the sidelines, Arians calls on Todd McNair for a first down run. McNair struggles for 5 yards, but the ball comes loose. The Cougars are on it. The drive ends. As Bruce Arians sees a downhearted Todd McNair leave the field, he tells him, from the negative, make a positive. Forget the last time you touched the ball and think about the next. It is the perfect words at the perfect time, and Todd McNair will respond. It has been a difficult 3 weeks for Todd McNair. After sitting out a year, the rust has been evident. McNair has had trouble holding the football, both as a running back and as a punt returner. Arians has been rotating 3 punt return men. Through the first quarter, he gave Frank Bonjavingo a shot. Frank had a good return, but once again fumbled the football after being hit. Second punt return, Arians goes for the block, and the sure-handed Purvis Herder can do no more than go down on one knee. So on the third BYU punt, Arians chooses Todd McNair. Yards later, the Owls are tied.
I fielded it pretty deep. They had a good punter. He had a lot of, good height and good distance on his balls, but I caught it, and we were running left return, and John Smith and Jeff Ward threw a couple tremendous blocks. Like, once I got past the first 2 guys, it was like nothing but green and red. Then I got down, it was just the kicker left, and I kind of dipsy-dooed on it a little bit. And Keith Armstrong came down. He was coming down in the meantime. I cut around him, and that was all she wrote.
We been working Todd as a punt returner. I just wanted to get him a couple games under his belt, throw him back there, and he makes the great big play for us right after he fumbled. And I was really happy for him because that's the way to bounce back from a mistake, make a big play. And he did that for us and gave us a big boost.
Coach Arians does a good job of keeping confidence in his players. You know, he has a lot of confidence in us, and we're pretty relaxed when we go out there. After I dropped that first kickoff return, I kind of, I got a little shaky. First series when I came in for Palmer, and I got a pretty good run. Then I dropped the ball, lost it then, and I was pretty shaken after that. But then I got the punt return and calmed everything out.
The Temple bench was sky high. The special teams had at last made something happen. It was a 7-7 ball game. The very next time McNair touched the football, it was a more positive runner, slashing through traffic for an 11-yard punt return. And with 9 minutes remaining before halftime, the Owls had field position. 1st and 10, just 2 yards shy of midfield. A strength of Temple's offensive coordinator, who just so happens to also be the head coach, is his ability to choose when to go for it, when to try the big play. And after McNair's momentum builder, Arians had that feeling. It was a perfectly executed pass and catch. The second straight week that Saltz and Marshall had connected for a pivotal, potentially game-breaking score. The underdog Owls, midway through the second quarter, had the lead. It was 14-7, Temple. The Owls hold the Cougars again and decide to try to grind it out. Palmer is starting to get untracked. He scoots the right side with a pitch from Saltz for 8 yards and a first down. But on 3rd and long from the Owls' 47, a Saltz pass is intercepted by defensive back Rob Ledenko. Ledenko rumbles 26 yards with the ball into Temple territory. 1st and 10 at the Owls' 36. BYU is not the type of team which you can get away with mistakes against, and Bosco goes right to work. The complex offense looks oh so simple when he hits Mark Bellini for 21 yards and a first down. It is 1st and goal at the Owls' 1. 2 plays later, Bosco goes to backup tight end Lance Lindley, and the senior scores a touchdown. When the extra point fails, the Owls carry a 14-13 lead into the locker room at halftime.
This guy's really starting to widen.
At halftime, a confident Bruce Arians meets with his offensive unit. The Owls had more points, more first downs, and more total yards in the first 30 minutes than the heralded BYU offense. At the other end of the locker room, the defense meets. Defensive coordinator Paul Davis tells his unit to expect the unexpected, perhaps a defensive visit from the Rhino, All-American offensive guard John Reenstra.
Put Reister in, and he'll be the overman. He'll be on the center's nose. And the other tackle will drop back and hold. We'll substitute him for a tackle. You got to have better rush out of you ends. I know they're holding the hell out of you, but you got to fight and get loose and get in there and do a good job on the rush.
Meantime, Coach Nick Rapone meets with the secondary, whose responsibilities will grow as the day moves along. His message is simple.
Keep your eyes on the ball. 1, 2, 3, pass through.
All messages delivered. The Owls are ready.
This is the half. This is the half.
Brigham Young would own the football as play resumed. It was critical to stop them in the first 5 minutes of half number 2. But Bosco came out humming. Opening play complete to his fullback, Hymule, for 16 yards and a first down. BYU is a ball control passing attack. No big strikes, just pick the zone defense apart. When Bosco hits tight end Trevor Molini for 8 yards to the Owls' 37, the lead is in jeopardy. But suddenly, a surprise contribution from that All-American. He is known nationwide as a top offensive lineman, but John Reenstra wanted to do more. Against a team like Brigham Young, the Owls expected to see 40-plus passing attempts. Rhino thought he could help.
Last week against the Penn State game, I looked like the defensive tackles were a little tired from pass rush, and I thought when I was playing defense a couple years ago, I liked the pass rush. And I almost ran out in the field one time, and I said, whoa, I'm not on defense. So I just when he was out there, I said, you need any help, coach? And he goes, well, that might not be a bad idea. So this week, I didn't say nothing or anything. And Wednesday comes around, and he goes, Reenstra, go to defense. And I went over there for like 5 minutes to learn what plays I would do if I went in. And then today, he said probably third quarter we might try you out. And anytime you go against a team like BYU, there's a lot of pass rush, and the defensive tackles get very tired. And I learned a lot out there. They had fun.
He had been just a part of the bottom of the pile on goal line stands at first, waiting to seize his moment.
Yeah, what I was waiting for is like a third and long where I had one-on-one with a center or something. And then I got that one time, and he threw me down on the ground. I just crawled to the quarterback. But then the next time, its defensive tackles is very tough. I mean, the one time I hit the center, then I hit the guard, and then the tight end cracked me in the ribs. I mean, I got 3 guys I had to hit, and I still wasn't to them. So, I mean, I know why you don't get sacks all the time.
But this time, on hands and knees, showing the determination of a champion, Rhino gets his man. Still, no full-time Iron Man's role for Rhino.
If there's a situation where they need a pass rusher, I hope I can go in there again. But just, to help out the team or whatever. But thank God I can still stay at offensive guard.
The Rhino sack fired up the defense. On the very next play, Bosco's pass over the middle is intercepted by Owls linebacker Steve Dominowski. Dom had been sidelined all week with a deep knee bruise. He didn't know if he could play when he arrived at Veterans Stadium, but play he would, finishing the night as the Owls' third leading tackler, the man responsible for the lone Temple takeaway.
Tough individual. Steve's a great young man, and they drained his knee twice during the week, and he's just too tough to be sitting on the sideline.
As the defense celebrated, the offense went to work. First play after the turnover, and Paul Palmer gets loose. Off the right side, he goes for 17 yards and a first down. Then the slick hands of Lee Saltz. The play fake freezes several defenders, and Lee cuts back against the grain. A 29-yard pickup, 1st and 10 at the BYU 13. But the drive stalls. The Owls are unable to punch it in. And this time, field goal kicker Jim Cooper succeeds from 24 yards out. Temple 17, BYU 13 midway through the third quarter. The ensuing kickoff is handled by Steve Oates at the goal line. He's hit, he coughs it up, and Arturo Weldon recovers at the BYU 19. The Owls, with a 4-point lead, have created a break. They must cash in. Fullback Shelley Poole bangs the middle for 5 tough yards. Then Saltz looks to the end zone for Willie Marshall. Marshall's got it, but he's beyond the end line, and it's incomplete. In comes Cooper again, but on this occasion, the Owls will come away empty. The 30-yard attempt fades wide left. It remains 17-13 Temple. Now Lavelle Edwards opts for a more balanced attack. On the ground goes tailback Bai Sikahima for 7 yards. Then fullback Tom Tupaluto goes around the right end for 13 yards and a first down at the BYU 43. Bosco goes to the air now. The ever-present Mark Bellini, a 26-yard gain and a first down at the Temple 27. But here the Owls defense will stiffen. The Cougars must go for 3, and kicker Gary Webster misses badly, short and left. The third quarter ends Temple on top, 17-13. The Temple lead, however, evaporated just 6 seconds into the final quarter. Bosco from the Owls' 24-yard line delivers expertly to Mark Bellini. The second touchdown of the night for Mark. The 2-point conversion fails, though, and the Owls trail by just 2 at 19-17. On Temple's very next possession, Saltz tries to force a pass a bit, and it's picked off by linebacker Lada Kao. Brigham Young now has the momentum, just 28 yards from pay dirt. Fullback Tom Tupaluto gets 7 yards and a big first down to the Owls' 12. Then Bosco hits Haimuli for another first down. It's 1st and goal. Bosco then throws complete for an apparent touchdown. But there's a flag on the play. Ineligible receiver downfield for the Cougars. And now BYU is 21 yards away. But the champions rise to the occasion. Bosco finds Mark Bellini for his 3rd touchdown reception of the night. The extra point gives BYU a 26-17 lead 3.5 minutes into the final quarter. The Owls will need 2 scores to win, and they go right to work. Paul Palmer, en route to another 160-yard outing, gets 9 yards and a first down. Then Palmer over left tackle, 14 yards and a first down. More Center Paul Palmer as the Owls bang for yardage, this time off left guard. 16 yards, another first down in BYU territory. Then on a Lee Salt's keeper, Brigham Young is called for grabbing the face mask. An automatic first down at the BYU 24. Arians elects to go for the field goal now and the touchdown later. But the usually reliable Jim Cooper fails. Wide right. Uncharacteristically, Cooper is 1 for 4 on field goals. The lead stands at 9 points. The Owls hold BYU and regain possession 80 yards away with under 3 minutes remaining. BYU is denying the long gainer, so the Owls must methodically work downfield with the clock as their biggest enemy. Back-to-back Paul Palmer runs account for 27 yards to midfield. Saltz finds Willie Marshall for another first down at the Brigham Young 29-yard line. Then Paul Palmer takes it wide right for 14 yards. Another first down at the BYU 11. Saltz then uses Palmer as a receiver. Palmer to the shadow of the goal line, but there's under a half minute remaining. Saltz then calmly lofts a pass to Marshall in the back corner of the end zone. It is a touchdown at the 14:56 mark of the final quarter. The Owls are within 2. On the kickoff, Arian stacks the right side. Then has kicker Billy Wright hit a pop-up. It is recovered by BYU, though, at their own 29-yard line. All that remains is for Bosco to kneel one last time, and the Owls are 0-3. 3 losses to 3 national powers on 3 successive weeks by a total of 7 points.
A team like that field position, they're going to get it in. I didn't think they could take it consistently on us, and they didn't take it consistently on us. And the defense played very well. I was very pleased with the defense. Offensively, we moved the ball well enough to win the game. We should have did a better job inside the 20. We missed the field goals that would win the football game for us, 3 of them. It's just another night where we played well enough to win and didn't win. And, someday it's going to be our day, and hopefully it's going to be soon.
Now it is back on the road again, this time down to Tobacco Road, East Carolina University in Greenville, North Carolina. Temple running back coach Spencer Prescott spent a couple of seasons as an assistant at East Carolina, so naturally he drew the scouting responsibilities.
They're going to be faster than any team we've played so far. They're going to be different than any team we've played so far. They're going to be just as aggressive and very physical, a lot like we are. A lot similar to the style of play that we have. They run the option, they hit on defense, they swarm on defense, and it's just going to be a drag-out fight, and our players are going to have to be ready or we're going to get beat. I see a lot of similarities being at both places. One, here in Pennsylvania, there's Penn State, there's Pitt, and of course, Temple trying to establish an identity. We're playing those people tough, but we're going to have to win against those people to really establish our identity. And North Carolina, there's Duke, Wake Forest, NC State, and of course North Carolina, and they've had similar trouble recruiting, and they have had to do the same things, and facilities and everything being equal, I think they can compete, and just like we can compete. And we're very similar, same type of scrappy kids, same type of offenses, similar offenses and similar defenses. We're really sort of the teams that kind of have to demand respect, I'd say.
But after meeting 3 national powers, will the Owls be ready for an East Carolina?
I think that I think we need a win, and I think they feel that, and they just want to really try to get out there and do the job they know they can do and come up on the upside for a change. And I think I think this is a good week for it, and also think that the players right now they're a little down, and it's going to be our job to get them ready for this game because it's going to be a tough one.
A Movie Land casualty who wound up